I was supremely excited when Mohit finally reached out to me saying that I have something for you, to say that if this is the toughest part, then I need my best actor, and if he thinks of me like that, I'm very honored to be in that company. I want her to have a complete life. I want her to see everything. I want her to experience everything. And then at the end of this, all of it, if she comes back and she says, I want to be an actor, then why not? And I consider myself blessed, and I'm very happy that I found a person like Soha in my life. And we've been together for 11 years now. We've been married for 5. Hi, this is Kunal Kemmu, and you're watching me on Bombay Times Online. I'm very happy. I mean, it's the best feeling for an actor to be at the end of the release of a film, be appreciated by the audiences, and I feel humble. I actually was pretty nervous when I took on the part. It was very different from what I've been doing, and it was one of those things that I was confident in the fact that I was doing something like this with a director like Mohit, who I completely trust, and he's the one who kind of gave me Kalyug. But at the end of the day, I wasn't sure like how people would react to this part, because he's so dark and he's so different. But like I said, the fact that we're talking here today and it's been appreciated, I feel very blessed. All of them, and I'm not trying to sound like to take the safe route here, because I'm telling you, I go through every single one, because I think as an actor, that is the true gratification that you get from your audiences. And thankfully, one of the pluses of having social media is that if they don't like you, you have to deal with the backlash that comes with it. But if they like you, then you have to read the things that some of them say, and you can say that some of them really kind of take time to write those lines towards you, and that's what cinema does. And I know that I also feel like that, because if I see I remember like Arshad and I became friends like that, because when I'd seen Munna Bhai for the first time, I just loved him so much in the film that I found his number and I sent him a message and I called him, and that's how we became friends. And then later we worked in life. But I know the kind of effect cinema and characters have on you, so it's amazing to feel as an actor that your performance has had that kind of an effect on somebody, for them to even say that, hey man, good job. They don't have to do that, but the fact they do that means something to us. It's been amazing. He was right, because we were both kids back then. I was 21, he was 23. We were like children in a candy store. We were just like living the dream. We didn't know exactly what we were doing, but we just had this passion and an instinct that we are on the right track. And obviously we know a lot more. I think he knows a lot more as a director, and I know a lot more as an actor, which we've learned on the job. And I definitely feel that both of us have matured, but somewhere we were still those same kids, because I remember the first time that we did a shot on Malang. We both got a little bit emotional, and it was a shot that we were doing in the car when I was driving. So it was just him, me and the camera, and he turned it on, he turned it off, and he called cut. And I said, you've called action and cut for me after 15 years, and you were the first director to call action and cut on me. And then we hugged it out, and I remember we had a lot of nostalgic conversations during the time of making Malang, because like how life had changed for him. He's a father of 2 kids, beautiful kids now, and I'm a father of Inaaya is in my life, and we're both married, and life has changed so much. So we had a lot of stuff to catch back on, but I still feel that a lot of magic would happen when we were right in front of the camera, when we were not talking about family experiences, but we were talking about what Michael would do and how Mohit would capture it, and how Mohit made me play Michael in such a different way. And I think we both complement each other, and I definitely feel that Kalyug is the most special film of my life and the most remembered. And I really hope that Michael becomes one of those characters that is always remembered by people, because I do think that it was a very unique and a very new character that was written, and I think Mohit had the confidence in me to kind of be able to pull off something like that. And I'm very happy that this teamwork happened once again. Of course, yes, Soha saw it, and I mean, she always says I'm your number 1 fan, and I love her, but she didn't expect it to be the way it turned out to be. I mean, she had an idea of what I was doing, but I also like to not tell her everything, because at the end of the day, we do this so that we can watch it with at least our family and friends and enjoy it. So I didn't want to take away the surprise. So even though she knew the main plot twist and everything, she obviously didn't know the intricate details of everything that was going to happen. So she also kind of was an audience to it, and the first thing she said to me that, oh my god, I have to go back home with you, I'm scared of you now. So I said, okay, I'll take that as a compliment. It's very important. I think every kid deserves to have the childhood that they deserve, and I think she is very much having that. The only thing different for her than the other kids that she goes to school with, I think, is the certain kind of media attention and the paparazzi attention that they get at different places. But I always say that it's very new even for us. The so-called paparazzi culture it didn't exist 10 years ago. It's just kind of boomed in the last 2-3 years. I don't know where it is going. But it is a part of our life, whether we like it or not. We have to learn to coexist with each other, and I feel that there has to be an equal respect on both sides, and there has to be an equal respect more so from their end towards an actor or his family's privacy, which I think as of now is there. And I can say this from personal experience. There have been 1 or 2 times when I requested them not to do something, and they were very kind enough to kind of not do it. So if it remains that way, I think we can peacefully coexist, and I don't think it'll be a problem. I will never tell her what she should or she should not do. I want her to have a complete life. I want her to see everything. I want her to experience everything. And then whatever she chooses to do, she has the freedom and our blessings and our support to do that. But like I said, I want her to experience everything. I don't want her to grow in a bubble, thinking that this is what the world is and this is like this industry is everything. I want her to travel. I want her to learn, educate herself, and then at the end of this, all of it, if she comes back and she says, I want to be an actor, then why not? I was supremely excited when Mohit finally reached out to me saying that I have something for you, because I used to always tell him that, we did Kalyug and we never did anything after that, why? And he would always say to me, which I always thought was an excuse, but I see the merit in that. He said, listen man, we did this film called Kalyug that got loved and appreciated so much. It was your first film and we did that together. We'll always be compared to that with whatever we do next. So I want to be very sure of doing something with you which I do next, where it stands on its own and it has its own benchmark. And even if it's compared to Kalyug, I never want to fall short, saying that what they did with Kalyug they could not do with this. Obviously after Malang I buy that, because he at that point of time he took a guy who had a image of a child actor and he presented him as a leading man and as a leading good man in the film, and then he took a man who always had a good image and a funny image and put him in a place where he just changed that role completely. He did a 180 on that. So I will always have immense love and respect for him for having that, firstly, that confidence in me to say that if this is the toughest part, then I need my best actor, and if he thinks of me like that, and I'm very honored to be in that company, and I can't say anything but thank you to him, and I'm very happy that it is paid off for all of us and that the film's been loved, and then my part as Michael has been loved. He was always very clear about how every character in the film would look, and he's one of those directors who takes an interest and he discusses it with his actors. But one thing he knew for sure with Adi's character and mine, that they were both muscular and they were both well built. And even more for me, because the character that I play, he wanted him to be the exact opposite of what he believes himself to be, and also because he's a police, he's a cop. And he always knew that. He said, I want this particular kind of body, now get me that body. And I went to that gym and I got him that body. I love acting. I love being in front of the camera and just performing and entertaining people. And the more love that I get from the other side, the more I love doing this forever. But they're both different. And I think as an actor, it satisfies me to be able to have the choice to do both, because I think you can get repetitive if you keep doing the very same thing again and again. Every actor will try to reinvent the same genre. I also try to do something different with different comedies that I do, whether it's a Golmaal or a Go Go or Gone. I try to do them differently, but having said that, if I keep just doing comedy after comedy after comedy, it'll saturate me also, and maybe people also will get saturated saying that, now I've seen this. So it gives me some relief and some added excitement to kind of jump ship and say, okay, now I'm going to do this. And I think it also gives a variety of things for the audiences to watch. I always do that, and I think that's how it should be, because you have to just do your job. And in life, you have to know that the only thing that you are in control of and that you can actually change is yourself. Sometimes even that is a challenge. So I've always tried to do the best in what I've been given and what I can bring to it, and not think about anything else. And I think films are such a teamwork process that you have to understand that as an actor, you're just a spare part. And if you're a spare part, then what you can do is make sure that everything around you, when it starts to work and it shines, then obviously you'll also shine. And it's amazing that I've had an opportunity to work with such good actors that somewhere they've also benefited my performance. You cannot be in a room with actors who can't act and still stand out, because then the scene doesn't work. It's amazing when something works and you say, I love that scene and you were so good in the scene. It's also because of the actors that I've been working with. I mean, it's always hot and cold. Sometimes they're like playing around happily, and sometimes you can hear somebody cry and say, oh, this one kicked me, or this one punched me, or this one pinched me. So they're kids, and they're enjoying being kids, and then it's lovely to have children around, and I'm very happy that they're around the same age, so that they can grow up together and like have fun together. So yeah, I mean, as parents, we're really enjoying this phase. I have no idea. I don't think people are so different, right? And you have to be lucky enough to find a person who kind of compliments you. There are always going to be fights, there are always going to be stress, there's always going to be tension, but at the end of the day, if those two people can find themselves again and be happy in that space that they're in, then you're blessed. And I consider myself blessed, and I'm very happy that I've found a person like Soha in my life. And we've been together for 11 years now, we've been married for 5, and I'm very, very happy where I am right now. I have a show called Abhay that I did last year, which is going into season 2. That's what I start work on next. Loot Case should be out. I think it's releasing in April. So I'm very excited about that, because that's again back to comedy and a very special comedy. I think it's one of the funniest films that I've done. So I'm excited about that. And then yes, Golmaal, Go Goa Gone, and like other stuff that we're discussing right now.